Australia, you effing beauty. Yes, Minos England have been exposed. What a slow performance from Ben Duckett, man. The 350 was not even a par score on this pitch. I knew it. Australia, yes, they went into the trap of restricting England, but they restricted them very well with change of pace, with slower cutters. They were brilliant. The bowling, I told you in the halftime, the bowling was very good, man. And if not for Jofra Archer's two sixes at the end, they wouldn't even have scored 70 in the death overs. They were so poor in the death overs. The planning of the phases by England batters were absolutely poor on this road of a track. And Australia have made them pay. Australia kept level with England in every phase. Even after 27 for 2, they did not go into CPR mode. They kept taking singles. Rotation of strike was brilliant even when the boundaries was not coming. Yes, Dew came after 30 overs. Yes, Dew played its part. But till 30 overs to be level with England, after you have lost 2 wickets early and then 2 wickets again in the cluster with two new batters on the crease, and what a partnership. I would first appreciate Matthew Short, the way he played short ball. He's a murderer of the short ball. And this England pace battery was not easy to face. 150 plus, every bowler, every ball 150 plus. But how Matthew Short handled it, he struggles versus spin. He's not a natural player of spin, but he rotated the strike. And that's what I've been asking. Guys, rotate the strike. If you see the partnership between Labuschagne and Matthew Short, there are no boundaries. Adil Rashid was let go of without any boundaries in the first 6 overs, but they rotated the strike beautifully. They never let the run rate dip so badly that, it was 9 runs or 10 runs to chase. Never the required run rate touched 10 runs per an over. It was the perfect chase. Dew came in heavy after 30 overs, and that really helped Australia. But Josh Inglis, what a 100 man. The man born in Leeds. I used to dislike him in the 2023 World Cup, but he changed his opinion by semi-final knock versus South Africa. And the English born Inglis has done it for Australia and has done in England. And England, again, the chokers of the highest degree. I mean, today was an opportunity for you to actually reach 400, man. I was seriously thinking they will reach 400. I don't know what happened. 140 runs in the last 20 overs with so many wickets left in hand. Adam Zampa, brilliant, man. Again, you demanded that respect from English players. You were just amazing. And rest of the Australian bowlers, off day for Spencer Johnson. Off day for Spencer Johnson. Steve Smith had the brains to bowl Marnus Labuschagne. He came out of the blue. He bowled some brilliant overs in the death. He conceded 1 6, I think, and that was all. And just I didn't expect this from Australia because I thought they were not in ODI mode. To be honest, they were not looking switched on to me even in the first innings. But wow, man, they are truly made of champion stuff, and that is Australia. And my friend Pratik is hiding his face today. Obviously, he will join later in the video just to say some, when. But he was asking today in the preview, I don't understand why 70% of the people have predicted Australia. This doesn't make any sense to me. Here is the sense for you, Mr. Pratik Gautam. This is the sense for you. Okay, Australia never count them out. I knew that the full fresh bowling attack, there were no baggages being carried. This Australian team, I don't know if they will go through the tournament, they will make the semis. But I wanted this win versus England so much, man, so much. I wanted this win. I just wanted this win, man. And thank you, Australia. Thank you for keeping faith. For fans like me who revere Australian cricket, who love to watch the Cricket Gold channel of old Australian matches and listen to Ian Chappell and uh, you know I'm forgetting the name of the commentator with the gray hair, but yeah, man, I'm so thankful for this win. Karthik, first I will take your comments, then I'll move to Akash.
Yeah, no, I think having followed the game, certainly two batsmen who have come out who I didn't expect to have done well from Australia, especially under pressure, no matter what the conditions. I think credit to Matt Short and Josh English actually. Both of them didn't. I mean, they didn't play a lot of cricket. I think prior to this. this Champions Trophy. So under pressure, foreign conditions, Adil Rashid bowling well. I think
And I'll tell you,
they
Karthik,
did
one thing that
exceptionally well.
lot of these English players have played PSL. Lot of these English players have played PSL. None of these Australian players have actually played in the PSL. Harry Brook has
No, I
emerged
mean,
from PSL. Bryden Cars has
no,
played
that's fine.
PSL.
I think, look, I am a, even though I praise good performances, I think we should not be too over the moon with good performances and we should not be too disappointed with bad performances. That's how I see the game. Frankly, yes, Australia won and match shot. I think they found a very good opener to replace David Warner, from what I can see. Because obviously, as an opener, you don't face a lot of spin bowling, so I don't see him being exposed a lot in white ball cricket, to be honest. He was
Hmm.
okay even against Adil Rashid. And Josh English, I think I've been hearing a lot about him. In fact, a lot of Australian former players have said that this guy is ready to play as a pure batsman, you know. And today he showed, I guess, why he is ready. And the exceptional performance by him,
Yeah.
irrespective of the conditions. Like you said, conditions favored Australia in the second half of the second innings. But irrespective of that, I think just the nerve that he showed to not throw his wicket away and
Hmm.
just take it deep where he knew that conditions will favor him is just
Yes.
sensible batting, right?
And he played the phases really beautifully, like how he respected Adil Rashid. I really like the fact that he knew that Adil Rashid was a real threat. He recognized that and made sure that he goes wicketless. And also, if you see the partnerships, they are all runner ball partnerships. But most importantly, all the runner ball partnerships have come with equal distribution of strike and equal contribution. There is lot of homogeneity, and that's how Australia normally plays. There is not one guy who is dominating the strike. Only guy who actually dominates the strike is Steve Smith. That he actually dominates the strike a lot, but here you see an equal distribution of runs, equal distribution of strike. uh, Beautiful. I mean, the way they played their phases. I mean, when Mark Wood came in, so they respected Mark Wood also a bit till the end when the conditions were heavily against him. Till then, they were very careful against Mark Wood, but they took the occasional risks in the Labushin and short partnership. They were not taking the odd boundaries of the fifth bowler, but this partnership of Carey and uh, you know Carey and Josh
Inglis.
Inglis. They actually took on that fifth bowler that is Liam Livingston, and they played some shots over the infield, which were risky shots. And there was a cut shot by Alex Carey that was very brave. I think he played that off Mark Wood at 150 clicks. I think that was very brave. It was uppish and it went through the gap. It was a very risky shot, but he was adamant. He actually tried it twice. He missed once and then he again took on that chance. So I like that it's not just sensible, but they also have that that we have to take risks somewhere to disrupt this English bowling attack. I think the smart game
No, I
smarts were
think
amazing.
with respect to risks, I would like to make one comment. I think please do not equate a performance on a pitch like this with, for example, performances in Dubai
I'm not
or
doing that.
elsewhere.
I'm not saying that
I think
anywhere.
I think every risk-taking game is a subject of the conditions. So I think on a flat pitch like this, you will take more risks and most of them will pay off. I think
Can
Australia's true
can we
test
at
will
least
come
compare
when
it with Karachi? Because those two teams really messed up
No,
badly in their chases.
no. This pitch was very different
no,
from Karachi. This
you
pitch was
can't
very
really
different from Karachi.
compare
Karachi is the
because I
best
think
wicket.
Karachi was turning.
Karachi has equal
Karachi had
everything for
everything in
pacers,
it,
everything for spinners, batters. It's a
spinners
very
also.
fair pitch
Yes.
made by the curator, Karachi pitch.
So
Lahore pitch,
Karachi is an excellent pitch. It did really well, I think,
yeah.
overall as a cricket
Lahore
pitch.
is a batting
So
track, and I think England fell short today, Pratik. I wanted to say this. I didn't want to jinx Australia. That's why I was not
no,
making
even
that
I,
call. But they
Shikhar,
really
even I
fell short.
wrote, but England did fall short, especially, I mean, forget 200 to 400. I mean,
Hmm.
280 after 40 overs, right?
Hmm.
Uh, you are expected to get 100 on, you're how much? I think four down or five down at 280. You
Yeah.
Yeah.
have reasonably deep batting at England. In England, almost all the time they bat till 8 or 9. So I think they should have gotten 90, 100 runs, at least 90. Even if they failed, I thought 470
They
would have
barely
been the
got
score.
80 with help of Jofra's two
They
sixes.
only got 80 and that too right at the end. So completely
And
agree with Shikhar
Labuschagne
on
bowled two
that
overs
is
in the death.
No,
Then
no.
also they
First,
could not
first, Pratik,
capitalize.
let me
so
introduce you
that's the big problem.
because you
Yeah,
you
yeah. Let's
joined
get
very
in
late
other
today.
panelists. Yeah, let's get in
Yeah,
other
let me
panelists.
introduce Pratik. He has joined intentionally by 5 minutes late so that he doesn't have to take up the full wrath of my
The
stop. And
initial bashing.
I messaged him, Bhad mein ja. Abhi just I messaged him because he was not joining. So I just want to say this guy, when England were really struggling in the death overs, this guy actually messages in the group that semi-finals are decided. It's England versus New Zealand and India versus South Africa. It's decided. Wow. First of all, let's slow clap for Pratik and his fandom for England, which has you
Akash, why
know
are you clapping, man?
so what do you
I
have to
think
say? Are you now able to understand why 70? You were not able to make sense only that why 70% have predicted England. What happened to that sense now?
no, very happy for our audience because Saturday night we got finally got a good match. At least, even though
Yes,
You
Australia
don't
chased
look
comfortably,
happy.
this was still the
You don't
closest
look
match of
happy.
the Champions Trophy yet. And then we saw so many records tumbled. Highest ever score, Ben Duckett 165. Highest ever team score by
Hmm.
England, and then broken by Australia in the same match in Champions Trophy. So hats off to
highest
those
chase,
scores.
highest
Those were
chase
the
in like
yeah.
ICC tournaments.
Yeah, those are the things that used to appeal ODI cricket, and we got a good ODI match today. Now, coming back to Butler, I think that's the reason England lost. He has very bad captaincy skills. That's what I have complained about in the 7-1 bashing against India as well. And I'm going to again complain about that because they were milking runs very easily. They were scoring boundaries. I don't know what kind of field he sets up. And plus, I said when the this new batter came to the crease, I think it was Carey. Australia were 124-4. I was like, please give one more over to Adil Rashid and close this off.
Hmm.
He'll take a
Hmm.
wicket. He was looking threatening. But
Yeah,
he
yeah.
what he does, he brings Adil Rashid later when there was so much
Yeah,
dew and
he
Adil
actually
Rashid.
tried to use his fifth bowling option just when Alex Carey came, and that allowed Alex Carey to settle in beautifully. Actually, even
Correct,
though they were
correct.
not
Yeah.
scoring boundaries, that actually allowed Alex Carey
And
to.
what about the dropped catch also? England
Hmm.
dropped a catch at a crucial time. Like they could have
Jofra did,
capitalized.
yeah, man. Jofra dropped a
Yeah.
very
So
sitter.
that was a very sitter catch, and they could have capitalized if they would have held on to the catch also.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah.
who
No,
knows?
that's where you have to give credit to Australia because once this partnership happened, now they were such on such back foot. They forgot how to bowl, how to field. And this was Shikhar was telling it run a ball. No, this was magical. This was 7.5 runs in over partnership, not just run a ball. I remember it was 103 of 79 at one time. And Josh Inglis has scored a century with a 140 strike rate. So
Hmm.
it
And he
it
went
needs
from
a
84 to
magical
100 in four balls. He went
yeah.
from 84 to he
And
was
ODI cricket is designed in a way like if a person scores 150, 98% times your team wins. Duckett scored a 165 today, carried the team from one end entirely. That's why they had those 30 extra runs compared to New Zealand in first match, I feel. But still 350 was short in the end.
न्यूजीलैंड
And
कराची
I
में
would
खेल रहा था भाई न्यूजीलैंड कराची में खेल रहा था ये लोग लाहौर में खेल रहे थे प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड
no, but still, man, like they had enough chances to pull the game back. They couldn't. So yeah, again, English fast bowlers are the weakness, not their part timers. Because Livingston, if you can go check the figures, Livingston and Root, their economy was close to six. But look at
You know
Marwood's
who I
economy,
would
Archer's
blame,
economy.
Pratik. You know who I would blame from England point of view. People won't agree, but I would actually blame Phil Salt and Jamie Smith.
Smart boy. Jamie
See,
Smith, yeah.
these guys are in freaking T20 mode. I don't know for what
Jamie
reason.
Smith is Pratik's all-time favorite. You're blaming Jamie Smith in front of Pratik. I love this. I love this.
I mean, Shikhar at number
No,
three,
I
even I
think
was surprised. Like, what is the
I
point of
mean
sending him
that
at number
shot.
three?
See, no, it's not a point of sending Jamie Smith at number three. I think he was looking $1 million today. He could have made 100. He played a nothing shot after almost being caught the previous over. Okay. And he played a nothing shot chest high to Alex Carey.
But
I mean,
But Karthik, our
yaar,
media
marna,
constantly says Harry Brook is the next wonder. So what kind of confidence you're giving him, not sending him at three and sending some new boy at number
no,
three?
no, Harry Brook is the next wonder doesn't mean his batting position at number three, right? That's not what wonder means. The whole point is
Because he
Harry
makes those
Brook
big
in
partnerships with Root in the Test format. Why can't he make big partnerships with Root here? So
no,
he
no,
should
they
be
could
number
have
three.
chosen each. Maybe they had the confidence to go with Jamie Smith. We don't know what their think tank went through, but I'm saying, irrespective of the batting order, just the shots that were played. I mean, Phil Salt, you don't need to go over the field every time to hit a boundary. The ball is, you look at match shot, apart from when the ball is really short, where he goes over the infield, he was just timing the ball. He was just waiting for the ball to come on from Mark Wood and Jofra Archer. And you look at how Phil Salt played. The guy scored 10 runs, I think a 6 and a 4 in the first over. He got off to a great start. And then, he's just trying to bludgeon as if this is a T20 game. Dude,
Yeah, I miss
fast
Johnny
scoring
Bairstow, man. I
30s,
actually miss Johnny Bairstow at the
fast
top.
scoring 30s, fast scoring 30s, fast scoring 40s, even fast scoring 50s in the top order in 50 over cricket is not good enough. If you're
Yeah.
only going to be a 30 to 50 run scorer in ODI cricket, you have
Mm.
to bat outside the top four or top five.
Hmm.
You
Yeah.
can come in at 5, 6, 7, 8 and play those impact innings. If you're
Like
batting in the
Maxwell did
top
today.
four,
Like Maxwell did
if
today.
you're batting in the top four, you have to go through and make runs. Now, what happened at 20 for 2 basically meant that on a flat track, Joe Root had to play anchor, play behind Ben Duckett. England got saved rightly as you said, by Ben Duckett. If he also went in T20 mode, then they would have had no chance
250 all out.
towards the end.
But
So
okay,
that is the
Ben
first
Duckett, I
phase.
agree. He played a great knock, but I have some question marks with Harry Brook. He plays for Lahore Qalandar the way he got out. Then Joss Butler comes. He's really tentative against fifth bowler Maxwell. The 39th over went for 2 runs. Maxwell bowled a 2-run over, and I don't know what he was doing. Then he took a chance versus Maxwell. Next ball he gets out. So that was again hit and dot cricket, which I literally hate. The one thing that I literally don't like is hit and dot cricket.
No,
And
that is England's problem, right? That has been England's problem, because if you go back to 2015, after their loss in the World Cup, they changed their style for 2019 and then they won the World Cup. Many people forget that that sort of style certainly was effective in England for
Mm.
English conditions, where it's absolutely dead track, even slower balls don't grip. They smacked Pakistan for a couple of 400s, and then, of course, they won the World Cup in England by the barest of margins,
by
literally the barest of
cheating,
margins,
by cheating,
right?
by
So,
cheating.
so
No,
essentially,
I'll
coming
say
back
that
to
that English team actually had Jason Roy, it had Ben Stokes, it had a lot of players who can adapt to different situations. This England team don't have that kind of personal. Even someone like Plunkett, they had a Plunkett who could give them a fifth bowling option. This team is not equivalent to that, and having a one-dimensional attack where everyone is a right-arm fast express bowler, I don't think it gives the variety. Also, if you had someone like David Willey or Sam Curran on this pitch, they would have made, even with the dew, they would have made the ball grip. But you have someone like Jofra Archer, who is only slower ball is a leg cutter. That's what he only tries. He only tries those leg cutters. The ball didn't grip. There was no off cutter or there was no knuckle ball tried at all by English pacers.
no, I
Whereas on
mean,
the other end, you had Ben Dwarshius and uh, the Nathan Ellis, the Hobart Hurricanes captain. Nathan Ellis, he was amazing. Even though they may have conceded some runs, they were always pulling back the run rate with some
no, I think
dots.
Nathan Ellis is a huge weapon in the death overs. I mean,
Shikhar, your
no,
prediction
no
about
doubt about
Dwarshuis
it.
was unbelievable in the preview. Like you
Yeah,
said,
I
they
told
should
you
play him.
Dwarshius.
He played and he
I've seen him
conquered.
in Big Bash League. Dwarshius has the great wicket taking knack, and he's always. And I've been telling you, if Maxwell would have gone first ball today, if he would have gotten out, Ben Dwarshius can hit the ball the longest in this team. He can actually hit those big sixes. He's not the Pat Cummins who can play according to the situation, but he can hit the ball a long way.
No, but
English bowlers are
I
very one
have one
dimensional. Yeah.
question. I have one question to all of you. Now we are seeing dew set in. I'm not sure if this is going to be only in Lahore or it's going to happen in Karachi as well. I don't know
Yeah, I'll tell you. I'll answer
essentially.
that,
But
Karthik. Hmm.
Yeah,
I.
so my question to you is,
Hmm,
I mean, ODI cricket, I think if at 120 for 4, no matter how good
hmm,
Australia are, I really
hmm,
appreciate how good they played. But
hmm,
in a normal circumstance, without due, even at 120 for 4, Australia probably would have gotten close. But normal circumstances, they wouldn't have won because
hmm,
of the due. They managed to win easily. In fact, forget just winning, they won
hmm,
easily in the end with 2.5 overs to spare. To your
hmm,
point, Shikhar, one thing I will bring up. You said why didn't England get 400? I won't be surprised if Australia scored 45 more runs of the
hmm.
15 balls remaining to even make 400. That's how the due is. I mean, they could have
No,
attacked a little bit more
but
and even
but
gotten
I'll
400 if luck went their way. So that's how
fair,
it just
fair point,
goes
Karthik. But
sometimes.
I'll just say that the fall of wickets creates a pressure, and no one can escape that pressure. When you are
Yes.
27 of 2, Australia changed they stopped taking risks. If you see how Labuschagne has batted, there was one airy shot that got caught. If you see how Gary batted, there was no airy shots. The only airy shot he played, there was one cut shot. Very few, high risk shots were played actually till the very end when Josh Inglis actually started, reverse ramping and all those stuff. That was very late in the innings when Dew had set in. How they played till 30 overs actually sets an example of how you should chase, because Pratik was comparing Pakistan and Afghanistan chases. First of all, they are not Australia, Pratik. Okay, so
Yeah.
you should first of all stop comparing them. Then I'll say that even when you are 27 for 2, you have lost 2 wickets in first 4 overs. Forget first 10 overs. You have lost 2 wickets in first 4 overs. You can't be bogged down in the power play and say that I have just lost 2 wickets in first 4 overs. Let me make 40 runs in a chase of 352. And look at how Matthew Short and Labuschagne have played the power play. Forget every other phase. They got to
Hmm.
76. They actually scored more than England in the power play, and that shocks me because it was really intelligent cricket. There was no due at that time. It was just shots. Labuschagne has got a very good release shot for singles. He's playing that late cut, which Gambhir used to play a lot in ODIs. He has that shot. He kept peppering the third man. I
No,
don't
but
know why there was no
Shikhar,
spiff.
even
Hmm.
no, but Shikhar, even England lost 2 early wickets. So I mean, to
Hmm.
say that they scored more than England in the power play, I mean, England
Hmm.
also were in a similar situation in the power play. They played stupid
Hmm.
shots and lost 2 early wickets. So
But it's a
uh,
chase,
my
Karthik. There is a pressure of chase.
my
Runs are
my
on the
only
board.
point is I think England one more big guy to blame today. The bubble that has burst, Bryden Cars, man, how bad was he?
Hmm.
Oh
Like
man, super
They
bad.
he
absolutely
was
targeted
terrible
him.
when the dew wasn't there. I mean,
Hmm.
not just targeting him, right? How many balls down the leg side did he bowl? I mean, I lost count.
Hmm.
How many
Hmm.
half volleys on leg stump? How many short balls that didn't rise up? Like
And
Hmm.
how many nothing
Saqib
balls he
Mahmood played
bowled?
3 ODIs against India. He did decently well, and suddenly you're playing not backing
To be
him.
honest, it doesn't matter, man. Saqib Mahmood wouldn't have made a difference today. None of those
Hmm.
England bowlers would have. Bryden Cars, I thought, was the best pick among the lot. But
Hmm.
I think one thing, he's not the 150k bowler, Shikhar. I'm not so sure he's 150. He's
No, Brad Carr
140,
is almost
145.
150.
He's
Almost, he's
only
almost
Bryden Cars is
150.
Yeah,
Hmm.
Saqib Mahmood
no,
has
he's
more swing
140,
skill.
145, man. I haven't seen him bowl 150 to be
In the
honest.
first spell,
Today,
he was
not even
he
one
was
ball.
touching 150. First
But
spell, he
Saqib
was
Mahmood is
touching.
No,
skillful bowler. He doesn't have the pace, but he's skillful.
no,
Braden
but
Carr
he
was
didn't
also
bowl a
preferred
single
because of his
ball around
batting ability.
150. Bryden Cars didn't bowl a single
Didn't
ball
bowl
150.
150, but in
Even
India he
against
No,
bowled
India,
150.
he did bowl in the India tour. He did bowl
India
in the
tour he
India
bowled
tour.
150.
he
He
bowled
bowled
a couple
150.
of balls above 145, but again, he's not the same pace as Archer
Hmm.
or Wood. So
Hmm.
why I'm saying that is that's when he's hit the deck and hitting the bat hard sort of skills come in. That Liam Plunkett kind of skill is what I expected. But how poor was he today, man? Completely lost it. In fact, I
Hmm.
think Root bowled one extra over just to cover for Bryden Cars. That's how
Hmm.
bad it
Defensive
is.
mindset, bro. Because this guy Saqib Mahmood has wicket taking ability. Braden Carr's playing because he's a bowling all rounder. All rounder tag. That's
But
why he played.
Karthik, first I'll like to answer some questions which you asked earlier. See, Dew is going to be a factor in Lahore and Rawalpindi. I have followed PSL a bit, so Dew is always a factor because these are not coastal cities, and Karachi is a coastal city. There is a lot of wind in Karachi, So dew is going to be less of a factor in Karachi because the ground is dry there. And Lahore and Rawalpindi, you will see a lot of dew, and this is where Group B actually plays. They mostly are playing out of Lahore and
Now it's the toss. Now it's
They're
the toss.
England. They are just neighboring to
yeah,
Punjab.
but
Win the
Mali
toss,
still,
win
बहुत
the
होता है
but
game.
due, so you
I know,
can
but
understand
I'm
similarly.
coming to another part. I know you're attributing this a lot to the dew and the conditions, but the singles, the strike rotation, the single taking, yes, the ball was not getting stuck in the pitch post 30 overs, but the way they played out different phases, the way they handled Rashid, some extreme pace of Mark Wood, who was
No,
just
they
on
played
fire in
well.
the
There is no question.
first
I
10
mean,
overs. There was a lot of
irrespective of
skill. There
conditions,
was a lot of
Josh
skill. Actually,
Inglis,
I just saw every ball of this match, and there was a lot of skill how they handled
There was. And the
never
ability
three
to
or
find a
four
boundary
batsmen.
every over. That was the main skill, other than the strike rotation.
And they have these strategies. So when Maxwell came in the end, Maxwell comes out. So all the English commentators were talking about how Maxwell struggles against short pitch bowling and
Yeah,
how
yeah.
England targeted him with short pitch bowling. So the first few overs, English didn't allow Maxwell to play more than like three or four
Hmm.
balls. He actually took most of the strike. He was trying to do most of the scoring.
Because he was
And
already in
when
purple
Max
patch.
yeah, they are very game aware kind of a team that they know whom to protect. Similarly, Carey, Labuschagne was taking a lot of strike on Adil Rashid because he knew that Matthew Short is not that comfortable.
Labuschagne also played a very good knock today. Like he didn't get stuck at the pitch at all. Like the way he accelerated today,
He was brilliant
amazing.
in that power play. I think he played some
I'm glad I picked
beautiful
him
shots.
over
To
Steve
me, he
Smith
looks
today.
a very
Hmm.
beautiful, elegant batsman. I know people criticize him for his footwork. He's been struggling off late. He's been very off the form, but I mean, some of his shots are from like a very innocent cricketing. You want to play that on drive, you want to play that square cut, you want to play that late cut. So Akash, I would like to ask you,
Yeah,
Akash,
yeah.
right? You've been here for a long time. We have not allowed you
Yeah,
to
I'll
speak.
tell you two things. So one is like Labuschagne and Maxwell, right? They're very good hand-eye coordination players. You might not feel their footwork and all are perfect for cricket, but they have a very good hand-eye coordination. You can look for that. And where England lost this, I actually feel is the scoring just 80 odd runs in the last 10 overs.
Yeah.
And so if you look phases by phases, right? In all the phases, Australia and England has almost been the same.
Neck
The
to neck.
first 10 overs, 73, and Australia is 76. In the next, like 10 to 40 overs, there were someone 190 something, and Australia was 186, 187 in the next
Same. Yes.
30 overs. But in the last
Wow.
10 overs, England did not capitalize. They had 6 wickets remaining,
Yeah.
but they couldn't capitalize on the. And I would say actually it was good bowling by Australia. Like if you see, they actually took off the pace.
Yes.
All their pacers, you could see like Nathan Ellis, he was just bowling cutters back of the hand. Like they took up the pace. Even the Labuschagne over in the the ball where Ben
40th
Duckett
over.
got out, right?
Yeah.
The ball where Ben Duckett got out. So it was so slow, so low. He did not expect the ball to be so slow and so low. They took off the pace because they know if they are going to give pace, it is
Mhm.
get it will be easy for the batsman to hit because the pitch had
Mhm.
nothing.
Mhm.
So they took off the pace so that the batsmen have to time it well, have to hit it hard. Then only the ball will go for a 6 or 4. So it
And
was
I want to
amazing
make
from
a comment
Australia.
here. You said that death over was batting was the major problem, but I see, that's expected in first innings that when the ball gets softer, you will have problem playing those shots. I think England underestimated the power score here because I think they should have gone harder in the middle overs, which they did
Correct.
not. They were getting a good partnership with Root and Duckett there, and they were rotating the strike okay, but I think they should have gone a bit harder there because you had three
So
phases of 60,
And
60.
Livingston did a very poor job. 14 runs in 16 deliveries is
Absolutely.
not
It was
expected.
very poor. So now you had three phases, 10 over phases of 60, 60, 60. You have three phases. Out of this, one phase at least should have
80.
been 80.
80. Hmm.
One phase should have been 80 because you were conserving your wickets also in that phase. Australia just, because they were already behind the ball game, they just played for going neck to neck and they knew that dew will come. They were adjusting for the dew. So they played
Yes.
neck to neck. But England,
Sir, I
knowing
think
that
this can be a good
come
template for Australia, chasing in this tournament.
because everyone knew Dew will come. There was anti-Dew spray in the halftime and everything. Everyone knew that Dew is going to arrive in Lahore. So considering that they didn't make that adjustment is what I feel. England did not make that
Yeah.
adjustment
But
to
one
push for
thing,
a
yeah,
overpower total.
one thing, Shikhar, like, it is when is it actually good to give like this flat tracks when you know the dew is going to come, so that it won't make much of a difference because the track is already flat. Like,
Hmm.
if they
Yes,
would
yes,
not have given a
Akash, I
flat
agree
track,
with you.
yeah,
This is the mistake that India made in Ahmedabad.
correct, correct.
What they should have
Because
done in the World Cup final is provide an absolute belter like they did in
correct,
Karachi or even in the semi-final against New Zealand. Don't forget, India
Hmm.
chose to bat in the semi-final against New Zealand
Hmm.
in Mumbai. The pitch was so flat that you could make 400 in both innings,
yes,
basically.
yes,
So then the dew factor gets nullified. There are only
nullified,
two ways
yeah,
to nullify the dew factor. One way is start 2 hours early, which means you basically wherever you're saying after 7:30, 8 o'clock, the dew sets in. Apart from the last half hour, you'll pretty much close the game out, right? If you start 2 hours early. If that doesn't happen, and Ravichandran Ashwin, by the way, even before the 2023 World Cup, kept screaming that ODIs in India should start at 1 p.m. and not 2:30 p.m. You know, and nobody followed him, nobody understands, and they just keep going for money. Now, my
Yeah.
whole worry, I have lost interest in ODI cricket. T20, there is still some interest because what happens is both teams face the dew when you're starting at 8 p.m. or 7:30 p.m. But ODI cricket have completely lost interest because I know that when the dew comes, whatever the
No,
situation,
but
I mean,
Australia were a
I
better team today, still, Karthik. I can see your
Pratik, these
point
are all
because
cliches. Pratik, I'm not a one for cliches. I'll tell you just three examples. World Cup first match India versus Australia. Australia make 190 on a sluggish pitch in Chennai. Okay. India are what, three down for five? Something like that for
yes.
two, right? We are
Hmm.
struggling with a bloody new ball with no dew. Hazelwood bowls a brilliant spell. Dew आता है. KL Rahul, Virat Kohli, happily just walking it like nothing even happened. And Virat Kohli played a miss hit pull straight to the fielder. Otherwise, we wouldn't have lost a single wicket after the dew. We chased 190 like nothing else. Same thing, World Cup final. Yes, we got to 240. Maybe we could have gotten to 280, maybe 290, right? On in those conditions at best. Australia 51 for three. Smith gone. You know, Head also struggling against Bumrah and Shami. ड्यू आता है साला दे डोंट लूज अ सिंगल विकेट आके कंप्लीट हो जाएगा
But
गेम
But
इज
Team
I
Tech
ओवर.
is
know
also aware of all this.
Karthik,
As a
I know
captain,
you are
within
a,
20 overs, you have to take five
you
wickets.
attribute a lot of
Take five
ODI
wickets.
There
cricket
is
wins
no
to
way one
conditions.
wicket, dude. Forget 5 wickets. 2016, one more classic example.
That's a T20
2016
game. Then you just
World
said T20
T20,
game. It
World
doesn't
T20
make a
against West
difference.
Indies. No, no, I'll just tell you, it is lesser of a difference if both teams have due. It's
Hmm.
lesser of a difference. But first 6 overs also in T20, in Australia, you observed that in the 2022 World Cup. And in Dubai, you observed that in the 2021 World Cup or 2020 World Cup. I forgot.
yes.
Whichever.
Yeah, yeah,
First
that
six
World Cup was
overs, mein,
heavily favored.
sala,
I agree. I
when you
agree
when
that.
you attack when you attack the bowling in the first 6 overs, the pitch is sticking both in Australia and in Dubai. After that, the pitch eases out, means the team batting first has lost out on the first 6 overs. Dude,
Shikhar, let
I
me tell you one interesting thing.
But
All the
I'll also
matches
say that
moving on
when in
are in
night the ball swings a
Rawalpindi in
lot.
Lahore.
It's
All the
it's
matches are in Rawalpindi in Lahore. So we'll see more due. Only one match, South Africa, England is in Karachi,
But
except
I
everything.
will
why
make
Australia is all
I will
game.
make
you
one
have to
bet
accept
right
that
now
England
here.
have a mental problem. They
But
can't get over the
Shikhar,
line,
you
man.
told that in the night
They
the ball swings more, right? But with the dew, the ball will not even swing.
The ball
yeah,
will
the
not
ball
even
swings a
swing.
lot in under lights. That's also
But
a thing that
but
has
Huh.
to
with
be
the
there.
dew, the ball will not even swing. You will not get swing.
You
You
know
will
what
not
is
get spin. You will
confusing?
not be
You
able to
know
grip
what
the
is
ball.
confusing? You know what is confusing? You play for the dew and the dew doesn't arrive, then you're screwed. Because Shikhar is right. If the dew doesn't arrive, you play for the fucking dew, the pitch in fact gets slower and slower, and you struggle. Okay?
Ball
That's
becomes
what
This
happened to
risky.
happens.
Pakistan. That's what happened to Pakistan and
Exactly. That's what.
Afghanistan, kind of, we can
Absolutely.
say.
I
That's
No,
make
they could
one
not even
prediction
keep their
today.
wickets.
I am making one more prediction today. In Lahore and Rawalpindi, going forward, in this T20, in this Champions Trophy rather,
Hmm.
whoever wins the toss
Toss will win the
win the
match.
game.
Acha, but what is we have just 4 minutes remaining. Pratik,
Barring
what is the
Afghanistan. Barring Afghanistan. There,
barring
I can't
Afghanistan?
really bet.
Pratik will take
Barring
offense to that.
Afghanistan.
He's only fan of Afghanistan and England, both the teams here we are bashing now. So
No.
Pratik,
Afghanistan have been bashing from before. Nobody
Pratik,
agrees with me, but I don't think they're a
Yeah,
50 over
Shikhar, I
side.
just want to reply to your earlier comment. You
yes.
said about my semi-finalist prediction. I will still say South Africa will beat Australia and Kiwis will beat India for sure. You will see
Okay,
that.
okay. But what is the problem with England? Why don't you answer that? Why can't they cross the line?
I told man,
What
throw
is the
that
issue
captain
with
out.
England? Why can't they win a
Take that
single
captain
game?
out.
They are 4-0 now. They lost 3 matches to India, where they batted first, when they batted second. Now they lost after scoring 352. What is the issue with England? That you explain. Now
Telling
you
you,
are
man,
such
the
a
issue
proud
is they
England
have
fan. You
no
are a
Johnny
part of
Bairstow.
Army group.
They have no
What
Jason
happened
Roy.
there?
Still, the captain is not opening. He should open. He should play freely because he's not able to contribute in the middle order. He's not able to contribute in the captaincy. Butler should open with Duckett. And they should play that swing bowler, Saqib Mahmood, even though whatever runs he goes for, because you need to have a different variety of bowler in your lineup, not
There
all
is
three just
there is
going
no
and
I'll
change
throwing the
tell you
of
ball.
who
pace
they're
bowler at
missing.
all.
I'll tell you
They
who
just
they're
kept
missing. Who
bowling
is
at
that
the
left
same
arm?
pace. They just kept bowling at the same pace to Maxwell,
I think Reece
whoever came.
Topley, the big miss, man. Reece Topley is a
Correct.
big miss.
हाँ
Toply.
यार रीस
Yeah.
टॉपली
Reece
अच्छा
Topley is a
बॉलर
high
Toply.
quality bowler.
टैलेंट है थोड़ा
Very good
हाइट
bowler.
विथ
Reece
दैट
Topley
हाइट
is a
एंड
high quality
Even
लेफ्ट
bowler,
even
आर्मर
David Willey.
and he's a
David Willey
big
is a
miss.
big miss.
डेविड
They
विली
don't
इज अ वेरी
respect
गुड
these
ऑलराउंडर
cricketers, man. England, how can they not
लिविंगस्टन से
respect
बेटर
them?
विली रहेगा हम्म
नहीं
What do
बट
they think
डेविड
they will
विली
achieve?
से भी
I
रीस
told you in
टॉपली
the
है.
preview, 150 plus will go at 160 plus pace. आकाश बोला था कि नहीं मैं लाहौर में यही होगा
हाँ वो
150.
Yeah.
आज जो मैक्सवेल ने छक्का दिया ना वुड को अभी लेग साइड में फाइन लेग पे देखा हमने वो छक्का एंड इंग्लिश व्हाट अ पुलर ऑफ द बॉल आई थिंक वन ऑफ द बेस्ट आफ्टर रोहित शर्मा मैन लाइक क्या पुल करता है बॉल को यार
अरे
शॉर्ट बॉल डालो
मुझे तो यार
इंग्लिश
इंग्लिश को थोड़ा और देखना है यार. ये थोड़ा डरावनी
अरे
है
इंग्लिश थोड़ा
कैलकेट वो
कामरान
टेस्ट.
गुलाम के जैसा बैटिंग नहीं करता है. लो सेंटर ऑफ ग्रेविटी,
मैन
ही
गुलाम ने
स्टेज
किया
हाँ.
वेरी
क्या है
लो.
आज तक इंग्लिश ने तो इतना बड़ा मैच जिताया
अरे
यार
वो टेस्ट डेब्यू पे 100 मारा. आई नो श्रीलंका पे सब लोग 100 जाके मार लिए बट फिर भी टेस्ट डेब्यू में श्रीलंका में 100 मारना कोई
इंग्लिश
आसान चीज
डेंजरस
नहीं
नहीं है
फॉर्म
नहीं,
में
यार.
लो सेंटर ऑफ
अगर
ग्रेविटी,
मारा है
ही स्टेज वेरी लो. मतलब उसका स्टैंड बहुत लो है. ही इज अ शॉर्ट हाइटेड गाय एंड ही
शॉर्ट
स्टेज
गाय
वेरी लो. एंड दैट इज एग्जैक्टली व्हाट कामरान गुलाम आल्सो डज. दे आर अ वेरी लो
नहीं बट
सेंटर ग्रेविटी.
शिखर एक पॉइंट बोलना चाहता हूँ. ऑस्ट्रेलियन बॉलिंग को तूने कुछ ज्यादा ही हाइप कर दिया. बारिंग नेथन एलिस बाकी लोग
पर यार
फट्टू है
डेथ
भाई.
बॉलिंग अच्छा
तू
किया
देख
इन्होंने
ऐसे ठोकेंगे ना उनको. स्पेंसर जॉनसन और ये जो
स्पेंसर जॉनसन
बेन
हैड अ
साउथ
बैड
ड्वार्शुइज.
अफ्रीका
डे
तो
दिखा.
बताएगी इसकी
स्पेंसर
ऑस्ट्रेलिया को
नहीं
जॉनसन हैड अ
वैसा
दोनों को
बैड
फोर्टी
डे.
में लेके
ठोकेंगे.
फेंकेगी साउथ
दोनों
अफ्रीका
को बेन ड्वार्शुइज को भी ही गॉट फकिंग लकी. दे जस्ट स्मैश्ड बॉल्स इनटू द हैंड्स ऑफ फील्डर्स. उसने कुछ किया नहीं. लेट्स बी ऑनेस्ट. घंटा
भाई
बॉलिंग किया
लबुशेन इज
उसने.
बॉलिंग 48th
रोहित
ओवर
शर्मा आज पावर प्ले में खेलता ना ये दोनों के खिलाफ भाई. 100 फॉर नो लॉस.
भाई
रोहित शर्मा
कार्तिक बहुत
सुपर
अच्छे
गिल ऑन
ऑस्ट्रेलिया
दैट पिच.
सेमीफाइनल पहुंच जाए एंड इंडिया शुड मीट ऑस्ट्रेलिया दैट विल बी द
हाँ,
बेस्ट
मैं
एंड
तो चाहता
नहीं
विन
हूँ
दुबई में
हो
कुछ
जाए,
नहीं
इंडियन
होने
हो
वाला.
जाए.
वर्किंग टीम
India should beat
भाई
Australia.
भाई सुन. दुबई में कुछ नहीं होने वाला. तू टेंशन मत ले. दुबई इज अ डिफरेंट कंडीशन. दुबई में साला हर एक बॉलर मुश्किल रहेगा. तो मैं दुबई के लिए नहीं बोल रहा हूँ. ये पाकिस्तानी रोड
बट
पे अगर रोहित शर्मा
But
गिल
Australia
ओपन
is
करते ना
missing
ये
Ashton
ऑस्ट्रेलियन
Agar.
अटैक के
That
साथ.
that I'll say. Australia is missing.
ओके.
Stoinis is a big hole, and plus they're missing a left arm spinner. They only have two leg spinners and off spinner. Off spinners are of no use to right handers. मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि they are missing some elements. Yes, they are definitely missing.
मैं
Stoinis is
सिर्फ
a big.
शिखर का एक कमेंट पे आर्ग्यू करूंगा. बेन ड्वार्शुइस एंड स्पेंसर जॉनसन कुछ ज्यादा ही बोल दिया इसने. एक्स्ट्राऑर्डिनरी. नेथन एलिस आई ऑलवेज रेटेड. उसकी वजह से वो लोग
I
थोड़ा कम
love
रन
Australian
बनाए.
cricketers.
बट
I
भाई
just
ये दोनों फट्टू है. इसको तो भाई हमारे डोमेस्टिक क्रिकेटर मारेंगे. पेल पेल के मारेंगे. ये कोई बीबीएल का कुछ नहीं है. बेन डॉर्चिच को मेरा पूरा देखा 10 ओवर. घंटा कुछ नहीं डाला उसने. रोहित
I think
शर्मा
English
रहता
is
ना
more
तो
dangerous
उसका
than English
at least
120
वो
का
10
फिगर्स
ओवर
रहते.
डाला, 66 रन दिया.